Welcome to our channel. Today, we have the following news. A nationwide drill into Liu Yuning's past has begun. A sweeping, almost obsessive deep dive into Liu Yuning's past has recently taken over online discourse, turning what began as a simple rumor into a full-scale examination of his life story. Ironically, what brought him back into the spotlight was neither a new musical release nor a drama premiere, but a piece of gossip he chose not to address, despite the fact that it had already been publicly denied by the other party involved. On April 12, speculation about a supposed relationship between Liu Yuning and Song Zhuo quickly trended across social media. The discussion was fueled by a handful of vague screenshots and amplified by netizens eager to connect the dots. Song Zhuo's studio responded promptly, issuing a clear statement the very next day, asserting that the two were only friends and colleagues. Logically, that should have been the end of the matter. Yet, public attention soon shifted, not toward confirming facts, but toward questioning Liu Yuning's silence. While the actress's side had already provided a definitive answer, Liu Yuning continued his routine, posting only two ordinary work updates on Weibo on April 15 and 16. In the eyes of many, this lack of response became suspicious. For some observers, silence was interpreted not as neutrality, but as tacit acknowledgement. Others, however, found the criticism irrational, arguing that once one party had clarified the situation, further responses were unnecessary. This divide quickly evolved into a broader clash of perspectives. On one side stood those who believed in procedural justice, insisting that official statements and verifiable facts should settle the issue. On the other side were those guided by emotional reasoning, convinced that no response equals guilt. Both camps were equally convinced of their correctness, creating a tense and polarized online environment. Yet the most unexpected twist came when critics, attempting to use this moment to discredit Liu Yuning, began digging into his past. What they uncovered, however, did not align with their intentions. Instead of scandalous revelations, they rediscovered a well-documented journey of perseverance. Old clips resurfaced showing him singing in bars at 22 and live streaming for hours in freezing temperatures on Dandung's old street at 23. His early struggles, working as a chef, waiter, and flyer distributor, were brought back into public view, along with his gradual rise to fame through a viral cover song and years of relentless effort. Even his personal history, including a past marriage and divorce that he had openly discussed during a 2023 live stream, was re-examined. Far from damaging his reputation, these details reinforced an image of honesty and transparency. What was meant to expose flaws instead highlighted resilience. As a result, public opinion began to shift. Many longtime followers stepped forward, emphasizing that Liu Yuning had never hidden his past. Others pointed out his impressive output in recent years, including dozens of songs, frequent concerts, and consistent appearances on major television programs. In 2025 alone, his productivity and visibility reached remarkable levels, leaving little room to argue that he was inattentive to his career. The narrative gradually transformed. Rather than a scandal, the situation became an inadvertent celebration of his journey. Traits once labeled as disadvantages, humble origins, a failed marriage, and his beginnings as an internet personality, were reframed as signs of authenticity and growth. In an industry often criticized for manufactured perfection, such rawness resonated deeply with audiences. At its core, this controversy revealed something far more significant than a simple dating rumor. It exposed an ongoing struggle over how public figures are defined. Critics attempted to construct a narrative of unworthiness based on silence and background, while supporters countered with tangible achievements and a transparent life story. The debate was less about relationships and more about values, whether authenticity can outweigh imperfection. Looking at Liu Yuning's acting career further strengthens this perspective. From Hada in the Long Ballad and Ning Yuan's How in a Journey to Love, he has steadily worked to redefine himself beyond the label of internet celebrity. Through continuous output and visible dedication, he has built a multidimensional identity that resists simplistic judgments. Ultimately, this episode also highlights a deeper issue within online culture, the assumption that celebrities must respond instantly to every rumor. Silence, in this framework, is treated as evidence rather than a choice. When emotional expectations clash with established facts, the former often prevails, at least temporarily. And yet, the irony remains striking. In attempting to scrutinize Liu Yuning, critics uncovered a life already lived in the open, one marked not by hidden scandals but by persistence and self-reinvention. When the noise finally fades, the question lingers, was this ever truly about gossip, or was it an unintentional test of how much authenticity the public is willing to accept? Perhaps the real takeaway is this: in an era where digging up the past is often used as a weapon, it only works against those who have something to hide. For someone like Liu Yuning, whose journey has long been visible and unembellished, such scrutiny may not weaken him at all. It may simply remind people why his story resonates in the first place.